I didn't want to dilute my dreams. I also never wanted to amputate myself and pretend I am not a mom. It is integral to my identity. I am both and more. Don't get me started on my zodiac sign, which is a Gemini. And so for me, I didn't want to change what I wanted to pursue. I wanted to be a number one Amazon bestseller. I wanted to have Gary Vaynerchuk on this podcast in episode 10. I wanted to interview Susie Batiste, the inventor of Poopery. And so for me, I had to figure out another way because I wasn't going to let go of my mom obligations. Welcome to the Mom Found Your Imagination Hub, your weekly podcast to inspire you to dream bigger. Plan out how you're going to get to that next level in business, find the energy to keep going, and make sure your creative juices are flowing so that this way you get what you really want rather than having to settle. Get ready to discover how mom founders have reimagined entrepreneurship and motherhood. Ever wonder how they do it? Tune in to find out and stretch yourself by also learning from diverse entrepreneurs who might not be moms, but who have lessons you can tailor about how you can disrupt industries and step way outside of your comfort zone. I believe every mom's superpower is her imagination. In this podcast, I'm going to give you the mindset, methods, and tools to unleash yours. Sounds good? Then keep listening. We are halfway through September. Like, where does the time go? I mean, for me, this is the moment in the year where I start to really reevaluate how I want to achieve my year-end goals. And maybe that's the same for you. And we're going to talk about the number one way that I've been able to really figure out how to get some energy, maintain my energy through the end of the year, and knock out my business goals. Alrighty, so before I say anything, I just want to be really upfront. If you're watching me on YouTube, you're going to see I might be referring to some notes because today's episode is ultra important. And yeah, I might look a little bit like a newscaster, but bear with me because I promise you that this conversation can change your life, your destiny, and the way that you get to the end of this year. Alrighty, so here we go. I wanted to just also say that in the show notes, I'm going to be mentioning the same URL that if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see right underneath me, melissalarena.com/masterclass. So you'll be able to absolutely sign up for what I'm about to share with you right in the show notes, wherever you're listening or watching this episode. All right, so now let's get to something that I realized just, I would say, 2 years ago. This word momentum. Have you noticed if you look at the word, it starts with mom. And oftentimes as a mom, it is really hard to gather the energy and maintain the energy to get to the end of the year. And there's a lot of reasons why, but one thing I do know is that we need momentum, and seldom do we feel that lift because we have so many things coming at us, grabbing and vying for our attention, especially now through December. And so I also started thinking, okay, what's different about this particular year? Here we go. This is a political year. It's the year where if you wanted to pour all your effort to ad spend, you're going to be paying more for ads because we have a lot of campaigning going on. This is also a time when we can get lost in trying to figure out, once again, how to really take advantage of the algorithms on social media. And I'm not even going to get into the fact that now Google might be changing the way that you can get that SEO juice on our business. Don't even get me started because that's another change that I've heard coming and I'm just not here for it. This is not my Melissa has to figure out something new era. And if you feel the same way, definitely pay close attention to what I'm about to say. So, I've been in business for 13 years and I have noticed a lot of people who started when I did, let's say 2013 or 2011 now, and they might look very far ahead of me. Like any given year, if you were to look at like Lewis Howes, or if you looked at, Rami Sethi, or anyone who's killing it online, and I just mentioned men, but there are women too, moms specifically, like they just seem to be like nailing it hard every single year. And as a mom, and maybe you can relate, it's really hard to keep up that pace if you're also in the middle of growing your family. Maybe you have other ambitions and you relocated to another country. Maybe for you, you have a child that has different abilities and you have to go to a lot of medical appointments. Like we got a lot of stuff coming at us that make us different than other people who might not have the same sense of responsibilities. And not just like responsibilities, we're talking about things that at our cellular level, we feel it. Like we know when we're not paying attention to what matters. And so that's why I wanted to just share with you something that I realized over the last 13 years, having had my coaching practice and being a mom to three little boys, identical twins in that mix. So here's what I realized. I didn't want to dilute my dreams. I also never wanted to amputate myself and pretend I am not a mom. It is integral to my identity. I am both and more. Don't get me started on my zodiac sign, which is a Gemini. And so for me, I didn't want to change what I wanted to pursue. I wanted to be a number one Amazon bestseller. I wanted to have Gary Vaynerchuk on this podcast in episode 10. I wanted to interview Susie Batiste, the inventor of Poopery. And so for me, I had to figure out another way because I wasn't going to let go of my mom obligations. And that's exactly why I came up with a method after a lot of trial and error and walking my clients through the same concept that is called the imagination to impact to income method. Here's the thing. What I realized was integral to actually getting to where I wanted to get to at any point of the year in any season of motherhood was this idea that I needed to use my imagination. And if you read my book, I refer to it as a fertile imagination, which is the ability to envision something you may have never seen a mom do before, certainly not in your circles, which is why I've had to go outside of my circles because I can't say I was raised in a community of mom podcasters or mom authors. So for me, this is completely new territory and I didn't want to like bump and scathe myself along the way. And what I realized also in that method, it is something that other moms can go through and repeat and tailor for themselves. And the place where I have put this method to the best use when it comes to my business growth goals and my ability to be a present mom has been in what I call profitable networking. You know how everyone else is chasing after, as I mentioned, the algorithm or doing those ads or trying to figure out like what's hot and heavy in terms of content marketing these days? Well, I have been on my end building relationships with some of the most beautiful and most powerful individuals in the world. I mean, you could just check out my guest list on this very podcast. And I've used my method in order to secure those relationships in a genuine and authentic and long lasting way where there's value on both ends, where I bring my whole self to the table. I don't pretend I'm not a mom. I am both and I am myself. And I might even crack some jokes to, build that rapport with individuals. So here's where I'm going with this. This method is something that I want to share with you. I want to tell you all about it. And today, right now, this moment is a big one. Are you ready for it? All right. Listen in. I want to invite you to my master class. This is the name of the masterclass, How to Craft a Focused Year-End Networking Strategy to Build Profitable Relationships in 30 Days. And here's the thing, you can do that and be drained at the end of the year, but no, in this masterclass, here's the big difference. I'm going to teach you how to do this without without draining your finite mom energy. What if you get to the end point of this year feeling exhilarated and enthusiastic? Because enthusiasm, you need that if you're having these amazing conversations with prospective investors, clients, partners, podcast guests, you name it, right? So that is going to be core to what I'm going to teach you during this live and free masterclass for mom founders. So here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen during the actual live masterclass. And attending live is going to have its rewards. Listen for them. But here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step roadmap. So this way you know that you're doing the right things, right? And also, so this way you know what it takes to get the attention of even the busiest high profile contacts. Because a lot of the times you're one relationship away from true business growth. And I mean, for me, it's happened on several occasions. One business relationship away from being a bestseller, one business relationship away from moving to Australia, where we expatted as a family, you name it, you could be one conversation away from changing your life. And I want to help you understand how to position yourself during this live masterclass on September 23rd. Check out the link in the show notes. Check out the link under my face if you're looking on YouTube. Sign up right now. Okay, so here's what else we are going to do. You're going to understand how to do the impossible, even if you feel like a fraud. You know, imposter syndrome, I did a poll on LinkedIn the other day and I asked, does it ever go away? It was unanimous. Everyone said, no, it does not go away. So why are we trying to suppress that feeling? I'm going to teach you a method that has worked for me. That's part of my own overarching method, the imagination to impact to income method, that helps me do things even if I feel nervous or awkward or weird or just like I'm not made for that just yet, right? I don't have all the credentials. So you're going to learn that also in the masterclass. And focus. That is the third idea. That is a third really big idea that as a mom, we need to figure out. Because if we are not in control of where we place our attention, where we place our focus, then everyone else is going to grab your attention and distract you. So that is important if you really want to make strides in terms of your goals at the end of this year and beyond, okay? While not draining your mom energy. That is the biggest difference, while not draining your mom energy, because there's no use in accomplishing so much and then ending up in a hospital or ill or drained and unable to care for your family. That is not worth it. So join the masterclass. It is free. Sign up in the link below. And this is part of what we will do. So this method that I speak of, right? We could call it the I method, right? It has worked for me and I have seen it in practice work for moms with very different life experiences. So in this masterclass, I have full confidence that you're going to be able to take away insights that are going to be actionable and you can tailor for your family, for your business immediately. So here we go. What is it you're going to learn with a little bit more specificity? So you are going to go through an exercise that other business leaders go through. I'm going to help you reimagine your company vision so that you're energized. When you read the mission, think of the mission. And let me tell you right now, it is not the mission that you might have on your company website, nor is it a manifesto of any kind. It is a personal mission. I did the exercise myself. I was crying after I wrote my version of the same method, the same exact framework and exercise you will do live in the masterclass. Here's the second thing. During the masterclass, you're also going to learn how to be focused on the right relationships to build. You only have 30 days, right? Let's imagine you want to really sprint and you want to end up at the end of the year with more revenue. This is what you need to be maniacally focused on. Who do you need on your side to help you, to give you access, to really, amplify your message? That's what we're going to talk about, how to find that focus. So this way, again, you're getting to your goal or exceeding them without draining your mom energy. This is really big. Third idea, again, imposter syndrome. That is something that is so difficult to erase. And that is a use of energy. So why not work with our natural, ways of being and how we feel? Why not, use as an example, if you're an introvert, why not use that to your benefit? There are ways. Happy to answer them in the live Q&A during the masterclass. So this idea, imposter syndrome, that's the third concept that we're going to go through during the masterclass. So I'm going to make it super easy for you. I want to be sure that I am present and available for you on 2 days. So you're going to have some options. Go to melissalarena.com/masterclass. You're going to see some options for every single one for us to participate, be together in a virtual room live. Okay. So I will be live. I will be running this masterclass on September 23rd, 2 time slots, and also September 24th, 2 time slots. Please go to melissalarena.com/masterclass. And here's what is also important. When you sign up, I'm going to give you a gift. Like, we're going to talk about like gift giving. It's going to be like holiday season right now in September. So sign up, melissalarena.com/masterclass. You're going to get a downloadable workbook. This workbook is going to help you instantly. If you actually open it up and do the same exercise that I referenced early that made me cry and gave me energy to keep going, you're going to be able to do it immediately once you sign up, because you're going to get the workbook. So you're going to get the workbook, whether you could attend live or not, you're going to get it immediately when you sign up, and you can get started in that exercise. I made it very self-explanatory. However, there are so many other steps to my process. There's so many other things that we're going to talk about during the live masterclass, and there is no swap for attending a masterclass live, because you get to ask your questions. Okay, here's something else. I want to make this so no-brainer for you. Not only immediately when you sign up do you get this workbook where you'll be able to do your own exercise on your company vision, which is one of the core things that can energize you to get you going and keep you going. But then on top of that, as a bonus for showing up live, and you're welcome to invite a friend, a mom founder as well, so they can participate too. But for being there live, you are also going to get a 30-day profitable networking action plan and tracker. And we're going to be able, or you will be able, to connect your vision to daily tangible actions, which is so amazing, because sometimes we get really lost in the weeds if we're just doing, but we don't have a reminder of why every single day. And in this 30-day planner that you get for showing up live to the masterclass on the date that you sign up for, you are going to be able to have a very easy visual so that you can track exactly what you're doing and how you can continue to improve over the course of 30 days as you build those profitable relationships. It is sensational. I cannot wait to get it in your hands, and you just have to show up live to the masterclass in order to get it. On top of that, I told you it's like holiday season for moms in September, right? On top of that, for showing up live to this masterclass, you will also be put in a drawing to be a guest on this very podcast. This is huge, because here's what happens. If you are on the same platform as someone who is famous, for example, as many people who have been on this podcast are, for example, Zibby Owens, you have Gary Vaynerchuk, James Altucher, Susie Batiste, Beth Comstock. If you're on the same platform as these individuals, imagine what that's going to do for you. It's almost kind of like osmosis, in the sense that people are going to presume that you're more credible than maybe you yourself had originally thought you were. People are going to assume your prices must be higher than, someone who is not associated in any way with one of these famous individuals. So please do your very best. I know you're a mom. I know you're busy. I know things change last minute. Speaking of every single mom who's listening to this, and I know this myself as a mom with 3 children, this is a really huge opportunity This is a once in a lifetime. You do not want to miss out on this masterclass. It is on September 23rd. You will see other dates there in the actual URL, melissalarena.com/masterclass. And the focus is about, having you get to the end of the year feeling like you put it all on the table and you got it done and you did not have to drag yourself to the finish line. It's all about getting to the finish line and being able to grab your award or your medal with energy and enthusiasm and being able to have fun and enjoy it and be in bliss with your family. I think that is what for me is a new definition of success. It's not just, a goal, quote unquote, okay, get this many, this much in revenue or this many downloads. It's not that. It's not juicy enough. It doesn't have the pull that I need as a mom who's busy and has a lot of things going on. And I'm sure it's the same for you. And that's why I want you to attend this masterclass. So before we end, I want to just read again the name of the masterclass. I actually put out a vote to mom founders, and this was the title that you guys came up with because this is what is going to help you get to the end of this year's finish line. The masterclass again is called How to Craft a Focused Year-End Networking Strategy to Build Profitable Relationships in 30 Days Without Draining Your Mom Energy. Go to the link, melissalarena.com/masterclass. Sign up immediately, invite a friend. It is free. It will be live, and there are perks for attending live. You yourself might be next on this podcast. You're going to be entered into a drawing for attending live. You're going to get the 30-day planner and tracker for attending live. You're also going to get to ask me anything related to profitable networking or being a present mom, anything that's on your mind that's going to be the key to your success so that at the end of the year, you feel sensational because you deserve it. You work freaking hard, and I want you to get the results. And I want you to feel like you got everything back and more in terms of all the effort you're putting out for everyone else. It's your turn. Alrighty. So I even wrote this down because I was like, you know what? I cannot forget to say this. So if you enjoyed today's episode, they drop every single Tuesday. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that bell to subscribe so that you have instant access to these conversations from mom founders who need to use their imagination to get to where they're going. Also, if you're listening to this on audio, let's make it official. Let's just change our relationship status from listening to officially following. So click follow if you're on iTunes or Spotify. Please go ahead and do that wonderful deed. And here's the thing. Thank you. Okay, from the bottom of my heart, from the essence of who I am, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for opening up your business. You're doing a service to the world, and I know it's going to be a better place because of it. And I also want to say thank you because the listeners, you guys are giving me the energy and enthusiasm I need to put my makeup on for YouTube, to have the guts to invite these podcast guests on this podcast for anyone on audio, and just, to get to another place in my mind, to change my gear to on and fully out there. And it takes a lot, and you're giving me a lot. So I appreciate you, and I want to see you. I want to meet every single one of you and invite your friends. Again, attending live has its perks. Go to melissalarena.com/masterclass. Thank you, and until next Tuesday.